Hello, hello. It is a beautiful ONPASSIVE day here in my part of North Carolina. My name is Jeffrey. I was talking with a founder the other day that mentioned having difficulty answering some questions about how ONPASSIVE guarantees our success. And since there's no real short answer to that line of questioning without context, I'm going to be using this video to explain the why and the how concerning the way ONPASSIVE ensures success. I'll also be going through a 1-minute clip from the onpassive.com site that represents the first 20 products that will be released by ONPASSIVE. So, if you haven't heard, ONPASSIVE has every product needed for any kind of an online presence or business. Additionally, the products are such that anybody can use them. If you're a stay-at-home person only wanting ways to enjoy hobbies, we can do that. If you want to start a business, or if you have a business that you want to grow, we can do that too. If you just want to maintain what you've got, hey, we're here for you, right? Even seasoned corporations that just want better tools or more traffic or anything else have 100 reasons to join us. Or maybe you're like me and you got nothing at all online. Maybe all you know how to do is surf the net, but you might want to get an online business or a presence. Well, we can do that for you too. As a matter of fact, we have everything you need for whatever you want to do. But what makes our platform truly outstanding is its artificial intelligence, the AI that runs throughout the programming and provides complete automation. True AI is going to be extremely well known and used, talked about and touted in the coming years. It's going to be responsible for a whole lot of things. Limited AI is going to be used in medical systems that will standardize the use of plasmatic and tachyon and even biofield energy technologies. But right now, the AI that we have with ONPASSIVE is providing total automation for the entire digital platform, and that represents a total internet solution. As such, you don't need to know anything about marketing, retail, or human resources. Heck, you don't even have to be a people person. If you can turn your PC on and log in, if you can think of a domain or a website name, or click the icon that's going to help you create one, then we can ensure success with our completely done-for-you system. So, if you haven't partnered with us yet, why is that? Well, in line with the chat that I had with the other founder, my guess is you have questions that need to be answered, and I can think of 3 of them right off the top of my head. So let's run with those. The first one is, if you're guaranteeing success, how does ONPASSIVE define it? The second one, because this still sounds too good to be true, would be, why would anyone spend enormous amounts of money, time, and energy to create a business to make all its members successful instead of making just the few that own the company filthy rich? And the third, how exactly does ONPASSIVE intend to guarantee its members are successful? So, first off, let's more or less define success as I see it being a product of ONPASSIVE. It has 2 parts, time and money. Success comes to us when we have a system so simple that it frees up our time and gives us more money than we need to live comfortably. It means having enough to pay the bills, afford some finer things, having a sufficient rainy day fund to pull money from as we need it, and having time to enjoy our lives. In essence, success is filling our tank with residual and perpetually growing income and having extra so we can eventually give some of it away and to have the time to enjoy it all. Next, the why. Why on earth would ONPASSIVE share its profits with its founders to such a great extent? In other words, what's the motivation? Well, ONPASSIVE's founder and CEO, Mr. Bufara, has a family and he's very hardworking, just like a great many of us. More than that, he's human. So don't think for a minute that he doesn't feel the weight of silent leadership or the sting of disloyalty. This is to say that he's subject to the same feeling and laws of physics the rest of us are, from failure to success and everything in between in every life category. However, one of the things that sets him apart from the majority, especially those in the business world, is his sensitivity to the difficulties faced by so many of us. Difficulties brought about by a system that's rigged against us and survives through greed and corruption. You see, He is very compassionate about and sensitive to the injustices that he witnesses on a daily schedule all over the world. And like so many of us, Mr. Mufara has had to put up with greedy, seemingly heartless people whose only interest is to hoard wealth and power for themselves, more often than not gotten off the backs of honest, hard-working people through overpriced, underdeveloped tools and systems simply because that's the model. And that has been the online paradigm for a long time. A paradigm of competition and separateness that proclaims everybody for themselves. And you know what? It always seems to have existed. Through that system, about 97% of us are trying to create an online income, and we've continually met with failure. Even worse than that, many of us have lost a lot of time and money, so we're actually worse off than when we first started. Because of that corrupt model and its unethical scammers and schemers, Mr. Mufara has experienced a lot of the things you and I have while trying to create that sustainable living model for our families. By this, I mean that he has been openly slandered, cheated, lied to, stolen from, overcharged, undervalued, ripped off, ripped up, and scammed. And that is the why behind this new and radical business model. It's been created through a heartfelt vision to make a way for its members to be radically successful without the drama. So, if you're asking us why ONPASSIVE is designed to create success without limits for its members, it's because its CEO and founder has been cheated and scammed and has seen firsthand the same kind of corruption that we've all faced, probably to a much greater degree. As a result, he alone has summoned the will, the motivation, and the resources to put a stop to it. Through his pain and sacrifice comes a compassion to create a solution that gently forces our success by being the correction to the corruption through the paradigm shift that is ONPASSIVE. And that's why. Because Mr. Mufara is sick and tired of the greed and corruption raining lack down into our lives. Now, lastly is the big question of how. Just how is ONPASSIVE going to guarantee our success? Well, in a nutshell, it's going to provide us with several elements that are going to work together to provide that success. Let me fill in some context. Mr. Mufara, along with teams of experts and professionals, have all worked to meticulously design and build this company from the ground up. It represents the pinnacle of human technological achievement and not only the first ever total internet solution, but a completely automated solution driven by artificial intelligence, machine learning in particular. ONPASSIVE is the most advanced artificial intelligence and information technology company on the planet. Right now, even in the final stages of its pre-launch, ONPASSIVE is massive. It's a very real company with several dozen very real products wrapped up and seamlessly integrated into a few dozen departments that can each stand alone as a unicorn caliber revenue center. That's just a fancy way of saying each department could earn $1 billion a year. And we are quite literally an abbreviated internet, and every person on the planet that does anything online will have a reason to join with us. And, as if that isn't good enough, it has a very simple, straightforward way for us to break even and a clean path to an unlimited commissionable structure that we can earn with. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how success is actually woven into the fabric of ONPASSIVE, starting with our vision statement. So I quote, ONPASSIVE is the ultimate, complete and unique digital marketing platform that ensures everyone succeeds regardless of their background or ability by offering the simplest environment with the highest standards and the most value while sustaining the benefits of a global stimulus plan. Unquote. And as you just heard in our vision, we have defined an expected outcome of our journey, namely, to provide a complete system where everyone succeeds, is simple with the most value and sustainable benefits. But what you don't readily see here is how generous the company is and how the outcome is being structured in such a way as to make sure the success, in our case, time and money, which equates to total freedom, is provided. To keep the promise of success, to provide the time and money, right? Our members need to have more than enough to take care of themselves. We have to have enough to fill our own tanks, so to speak, first, and have extra so we're able to share with those that are close to us. And just how is that going to be done? Well, that's kind of hard to explain, but see if you can follow me here while I try to at least in a linear way, explain how it's going to happen. A person joins GoFounders by paying the one-time cost of 97 bucks. As a founder, that member is going to be a reseller of our product, the total internet solution, either in whole or in part. You remember that, right? Several dozens of products wrapped neatly around about 50 departments or so. Well, together, these are easily worth tens of thousands of dollars a month. Now, it's very doubtful that OnPassive is going to charge anywhere near that much, but whatever the cost, OnPassive has chosen to share those profits with the founders and resellers. As a founder reseller, we're going to have access to them all for a fraction of their value. Our expectation is that the founder cost is going to be a one-time out-of-pocket of 250 bucks or less. But we're not sure of the specific cost yet because the company's still determining the expected operating costs so that it can then anticipate the subscription costs. So bear with us. We say one time out of pocket because we expect after the first month that the subscription cost is going to be paid by commissions earned through our first 3 customer subscriptions. Okay? It's a little thing that Mr. Mufareh calls 3 and free. This means you start pocketing profit with the 4th customer. Okay, you're with me, right? So far, you're a founder with access to everything that you're going to need to create, grow, and maintain your online presence or business. The out-of-pocket costs for you at this point are $347 or less. Remember, that's the $97 founder fee and the $250 or less for the subscriptions, because everything else is going to be paid from your earnings. Now, because I know that you're an astute entrepreneur, you're probably wondering, what earnings? It's just me with no customers, and so far I'm out 350 bucks. Well, this is where I tell you that OnPassive is going to totally automate and market your reseller business. Products, traffic, recruiting, sales, everything. This means you don't have to sell or recruit if you don't want to. But I do recommend, for reasons that are going to become apparent in a minute, that you do so. To build your customer base, OnPassive has already planned super campaigns to recruit and drive targeted traffic for you, right? For your business. And I can't get into the real numbers here, but I will say with complete confidence that the campaigns are very predictable, as is our business, and they will produce, at the most conservative level, at least 3 customers per campaign for you, and each campaign is expected to run at least, well, not more than 90 days. How's that? This means the first campaign, since you're the only member, right? You haven't done any recruiting. At a bare minimum, it's going to give you 3 customers. Now, the second campaign is going to get you another 9 because 3 times 3 is 9, right? The third is going to get you 27, the 9 times, 9 times 3, right? The fourth, another 81. You see the math, right? You seeing how it's working? So minimally, by the end of the first year, your team is going to have 3 plus 9 plus 27 plus 81, 120 customers, and you haven't hardly even lifted a finger. Okay, now here's where you want to pull out your calculator, as Mr. Williams would say, and have some fun. If your first 3 customers pay your subscription costs, how much do you think you're going to be earning with more than 100 customers all paying monthly subscriptions? I mean, think about that. It's got to be something nice. What happens if you recruit 1 founder? Bam! Your numbers just potentially doubled. That's what happens. And what if you bring in 10 founders? Are you kidding me? That would give you more than 1,000 customers at the end of your first year going into the second year. Can you see why I say it is really to your advantage to recruit? So that's what we do, and that's how we do it. We make sure that those that join us have more than enough for themselves and encourage them to freely share the excess that they'll eventually have as they see fit. In this way, the OnPassive founder becomes the global net of providers with millions, eventually billions of customers that are going to touch every culture on the globe at a grassroots level to act as a distribution force for good, distributing wealth through giving. And even though we encourage and make it easy for us to be charitable, whether we do that or not, the mere fact that we're pumping money into the economy at such extraordinary levels helps OnPassive reach its goal of lifting humanity. Each founder is going to be a distribution touch point for their family, their community, and their country. In doing this, we raise the human condition, and that's the real goal. And with OnPassive, which is soon to be the greatest wealth-generating company on the planet, whoa, it's already starting to happen, and everything is about to change. So let's sum this up. What is success? Having more than what we need and sharing it with others. And why are we doing this? Because our CEO, Mr. Ashby Farr, is sick and tired of the corrupt status quo and is motivated to change it. That's why. And how are we guaranteeing success? By providing a simple system that frees up our time and pays us a growing residual income to use it. In the words of Mr. Ashby Farr just yesterday, quote, OnPassive is a winner and we're going to change a lot of things in this world, unquote. So let me tell you, if somebody has already talked to you about joining GoFounders, get back with that person, join that team. That'll mean a lot to them and it'll mean a lot to you going ahead into the future. But if nobody has and you're looking for an invite, consider this your invitation to join. Click the description box below, click the link that says join here and join our team, become a founder and get involved, get active and secure your future. You just have to decide to do it and then follow through on it. However, whatever you decide to do, we only wish blessing and blessing upon you and your family.